each driver unique. It's an event designed to make you equal, because you are number one. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Circuito Internazionale Napoli and the 2024 Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals. It's the 25th anniversary edition of this wonderful event, and Jen Wade, we are back.
We are back. 25 years, Henry. We're celebrating all the champions from the Rotax Max Challenge series around the world. They're all here. Yep. I can't believe it's 25 years. But a little bit of news. We've got a new team member joining us this weekend.
A third member, Kyle Lawrence, from the driver's seat last year to the camera crew this year.
Hello, Henry. Hello, Jen. And hello, ladies and gentlemen. What an honor and a privilege to be part of such an amazing broadcasting team and at such an amazing event like the Rotax Grand Finals. Today, though, we got qualifying, arguably the most important 6 minutes of this event. And hopefully we see some surprises.
Yes, a little bit of practice going on out there. But make sure you stay following us on the social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, and of course YouTube, Rotax Karting. Share your favourite memories and you might be lucky that we feature your photo.
This is the start of 4.5 days of live coverage of the biggest party in world karting. We've got qualifying for E20, Micro, Mini and Masters coming up now. And with our new broadcast partners at Alpha Live, this year's Rotax Grand Finals will look better than ever. Guys, I got a plan. I've got to get that from there to there.
Yeah.
You're my trolley. Come with me. Oh, it's a bit heavy. Ah, there we go. You right there? Can't drop it. Can't drop it. Can't drop it. Oh, boys, what are you thinking of? 25th anniversary. 391 drivers, 60 countries this year. That's more than we've had in a lot of years. Somewhere? Ah.
The first I watched is 2017.
Mm-hmm. And what was it like that minute you weren't your ticket? What was the feeling like?
It's an amazing feeling. It's can't describe it in words.
Not many people get to have this experience. It's not one where you can go say, oh, I want to go buy a ticket. This, you have to race your way. Everybody here is a winner.
1, 2, 3, down. Oh, oh. Teamwork makes the dream work, doesn't it? 15 grand finals.
Grand finals.
And what was your favourite one?
My favorite one, La Conca 2008.
La Conca 2008.
Yeah.
So we're a little bit up the coast now, but we've
Yeah.
been to some fantastic places, haven't we?
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, brilliant. Oh, I can't see where I'm going. Oh my God, I can't see where I'm going. Oh, I know, walk backwards. One word describes your feelings when you arrived here. You don't know? Incredible, fantastic. Give me one word. Amazing. There we go. This is Rotax hospitality at its finest. So, okay, there we go. Look at that. So the first time you've ever left your home country is to come here?
Yes. Well, first we had to figure out where to put the dogs and get passports.
It's incredible. Managed to speak to drivers, mechanics, mums, dads, sisters, brothers, whole family. Really is a special event. This is quite comfy, actually. I'm absolutely shattered. Wake me up for the finals, will you? Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Sarno. If that new Rotax Grand Finals theme tune doesn't get your heart beating a little bit faster, I don't know what will. My name's Henry Beaudette. This is Kyle Lawrence. Kyle, you've been here as a mechanic. You've been here as a driver. You're now part of the broadcast team. Is there any words that can possibly describe the absolute majesty and the size, the scale of this event?
Coming to this event, either as a mechanic or as a driver, is it's unbelievable. You know, you get your ticket, you feel that emotion, you feel that final relief. I've gotten my ticket, I can get to the grand finals. You get here, and all of a sudden it changes. The nerves come out, the butterflies start. You're up against 76 of the best of that particular country. So you're racing as champions that have already won races, won events. So, you know, the nerves start, and especially around about this time, you've only had 5 sessions on the track. But what's happened today is they've all had 5 sessions on the track in the dry.
Well, yes, we'll get to that now. Funny you should say that, because since we filmed that opening segment with Jen Wade, who is currently down in the pit lane waiting to speak to some of our contenders for qualifying, conditions have changed. For those of you that haven't been following the event on social media, signing on for this event started on Friday. Friday and Saturday were saturated. The rain got so bad on Friday it was biblical. We almost didn't have the traditional 400 cart frame where they're all lined up together, that iconic image, the Rotax Grand Finals. However, at 5:30 a.m. on Sunday morning, 60 members of the Rotax family, all the workshop workers, all the chassis partners were here, and in 2.5 hours, they got all 400 carts on the start-finish straight. So each one of our drivers and every country could get their team photo done. It then dried up for practice and for the kart raffle. Yesterday was by and large the best day we've had here. It was hot, it's been very humid. As you can see now, the circuit has been doused once again. We can, however, see Mount Vesuvius. Mount Vesuvius, there it is, which overlooks this circuit. The Circuito Internazionale Napoli is celebrating its 30th birthday this year. It's been redesigned since the last time we were here in 2019, and the circuit, the start-finish line, there it is. That was the back straight, or it was the last straight just before the start-finish straight. There's no breeze in the air. The flags from every single one of the nations competing here remain still. That means, Kyle, that the track won't dry very quickly, although we have already seen the drainage system here in Sarno is good.
Look, we have seen after the rain on Friday and Saturday, it did stop a bit on Saturday. I think it was for 45 minutes, and the track dried up incredibly quickly. The only thing we did struggle with was there's a couple of spots around the circuit where there is a lot of standing water. Now that obviously takes time for it to dissipate and move off the circuit. So looking at the circuit at the moment, the rain has stopped. There isn't a lot of wind. So what decision do you take now? Do you wait to see if the track is dry? Do you put your tires on and send them out with wets? Do you wait for slicks? When the circuit is declared a wet circuit, you have the choice of either slicks or wet. So it becomes a decision of the mechanic and the driver to make the call to send the cart out and roll that dice. So be interesting to see. We've got 40 minutes before we go out. So
yeah, I mean, the other thing has changed is that we don't have E20 qualifying yet. For technical reasons, that has been moved to tomorrow morning. For those of you who are watching on the following channels, obviously we are live on the official Rotax Karting YouTube channel. That is our official broadcast channel. However, we are also live on the Alpha Live channel, their official official broadcast partners now of the Grand Finals, and we do have live chat feature on the Alpha Live YouTube channel. So for the very first time in Grand Finals history, if you are watching on the Alpha Live YouTube channel and you want to let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, what country you want to win, and if you've been to the Grand Finals before or if you've watched the Grand Finals before, let us know your favourite Grand Finals memory. This is the 25th anniversary edition of the Grand Finals. It's grown from 66 drivers in the year 2000 when we were in Puerto Rico up to today. 391 drivers. Sadly, one of the Brazilian drivers in E20 Masters has withdrawn, didn't arrive, I think, visa issue or something like that. So we are down to 391. It's still nearly the biggest Grand Finals we've ever had. Today, qualifying for micro, double mini grid and then Masters. Tomorrow we will have obviously the remaining classes qualifying, the start of heat races on, that'll be Wednesday, wouldn't it? Yes, yeah. Thursday, heat races all day. Friday, the world famous Rotax driver parade, that'll be covered live as always, plus the pre-finals. Saturday, the main events themselves. I'm like a kid on Christmas morning here. It's, you know, we talk about the Rotax family, ladies and gentlemen. You're now experiencing this for the first time, being part of this incredible international global group of people from all over the world who assemble either from Corridas Karting, the organisers, from BRP Rotax, from the various countries that the Corridas and the Rotax team handpick the rest of the officials. Then the chassis partners, the team from Birrell, the team from Sodi, the team from Praga, all coming together for this 2-week stretch. And when I asked the guys from the workshop, the Rotax workshop, the technical support team who are here, they're the unsung heroes. They're the guys and girls who work in the Rotax workshop. If any one of our drivers has an engine issue or they have a problem they need to be resolved, they go to the Rotax tech workshop. And I spoke to them and said, why did you get up at 5:30 in the morning? The answer was, the drivers deserve that photo.
Yeah, 100%.
It's absolutely right.
It's iconic with the event. It's exactly what you want to see when you get here. And you know, you say they set it up in 2.5 hours, 5:30, they got it done. It wasn't like they just put the carts on the circuit haphazardly. No. You could run a laser straight down the center and it wouldn't touch the carts. It would be perfectly straight. So it was unbelievable to see that and to see everybody come together as a family. And for me, coming here as a new member to the team, from day one, I felt like I was part of it. Everybody around, you know, gathered around and made sure that I felt like I was part of this team, and I really do. And it's I commend every single one of them for the work that they've put in for this weekend.
Well, of course, when we agreed to have you on board, South Africa were the winningest nation in Grand Finals history. Not now.
You had to put that in there like that.
So,
Thanks.
But of course, it's not just the two of us in the commentary box. As usual, during the course of the week, you hear voices, co-commentaries. Kyle, you'll be doing a couple of classes, but we're going to have co-commentators from around the world to give the voice, the event, a real global voice. But of course, I can't call her a veteran because the lady never reveals her age. But it is not just us two. The one and only Jen Wade is with us, as always, and Jen is down in the pit lane. Hopefully, we're going to start speaking to some of our drivers like you've never seen before. Jen Wade, please say hello. Take it away.
We just hit 4 o'clock, Henry, and of course, we've got a little over half an hour before anything happens here on the track. So I'm out here looking for a little bit of grip. See if I can find any. Now, I've heard from the locals that if I look over that mountain, if you just take a look over there, it should tell me if there's any rain coming. So at the moment, I can see rain coming. It's just changed. Definitely there's rain coming. So anyone in the paddock that can hear me, get those wet weather tyres ready. I can hear the tyres popping on the rims there in Parc Fermé, Micro, Mini and DD2 Masters at the moment, getting fitted up with their wet weather tyres. Now, remembering that you've got that one set for the race meeting, one set of wets. So, of course, no one was out here before. You talked about that. Let's have a look on the track a little bit. If we can have a look, where is it wet? There's a new section of the track, the last section here. New asphalt right down there. You can see just past the grandstand. And I have good information that it's slippery. So a little bit slippery on the news section. So anyone who's going to go out in qualifying, remember, a little bit more slippery there. On this part, not so slippery, but I mean, what do you do? It's weather, it's raining, and actually, I don't know if you can see, if the cameraman can go back a little bit, Mount Vesuvius behind me. How does it look up there? Can you see it all? A little bit of cloud, but basically I think we should have a look what's going on inside. Quite a few puddles. We've had a really big downpour, so yeah, it's going to be interesting is probably the best word down here on the track, but it's not that cold really. It's quite nice, but we'll have a look inside and see what's actually happening in Parc Fermé and where we're up to, because we've got now just over 30 minutes still before we go live with qualifying. So let's take a look. But it's a nice track for anyone that's not been here to Sarno. If you take a look around, beautiful circuit, nice and green. We've got all the banners, obviously, our partners, and I think they've done a fantastic job. We've got some new additions to the facilities as well. And down the end, which is going to be, actually, that's where I'd be sitting, in that grandstand down this way, the blue one, because this is where it's going to get interesting on the last new section of the track. Maybe a little bit bumpy there too, but through the chicane. And if you're watching any of the practice earlier, Henry and Kyle, you would have seen the karts actually jumping over the curbs on that last section, especially DD2, hitting it really hard. Okay, so we're going to have a look inside and just see where we're up to with the Parc Fermé wet tyres being fitted. So there was a little bit of chaos earlier actually, but I don't mind a bit of chaos. Always makes things a little bit more interesting, especially when you're just about to go into qualifying. So a little bit of water here. Oh, actually, it looks like there aren't many people left in the Parc Fermé, so that's a good sign. Only a few guys up there getting the tyres mounted on the rims. And while we're here, I guess, incidentally, if you look over to the left, you'll see this is where they pick up their fuel tanks. So before they leave the Parc Fermé, all the fuel tanks are removed from the karts, and the fuel is actually impounded here. And this is also where they're refueled by the Rotax team there. There's Peter giving us a wave. Yeah, so they pick up their fuel tanks there. They're all ready to go, and you see they're all marked. They've got their numbers and everything and where they want the level to be. And then obviously this is where they come to prepare before they go out on the grid. So yeah, that's where we're up to. Not much happening actually. I'm just down here with all the media guys. We're waiting for a little bit of action. So yeah, I think, what else can I tell? Oh, actually, I will tell you, if you follow Rotax Karting on social media, they've got a little bit of a feature happening, so a promotion. If you tag at Rotax Karting with your favourite photos or memories from the grand finals, if you've got a favourite photo, or even if it's one of the photos that we've put on the gallery, if you haven't checked it out, www.grandfinals.rotax-racing.com. So if you go there, you can actually see all the gallery, all the photos from the last few days since we did the kart raffle. We had the party. We had a bit of track action yesterday with the practice. So if you go there, you can find the gallery, you can download the photos, post a photo if there's one of your team or favourite ones. And all the time they're actually uploading those every day with the news. So go there. Or if you've got an old photo, share the photo, tag Rotax Karting, and every day 5 of the photos, the best 5, I don't know if it's the best, I think it's the favourite 5 from the media team, actually get to be shared on the official platforms, so the official channels. Keep watching. Make sure also that you're writing any, good luck messages to your national team as well, or any drivers. Henry and Kyle and myself will be getting all the messages and making sure we're giving everyone a cheerio, or if you need, we can tell everyone in the paddock or tell your favourite team as well, your national team, that you're following on. So, and make sure you tune in as well on YouTube and watch some of the fantastic videos. So not only the live stream. Okay, so I think that's about it from down. Oh, here's the race director. Let's have a look what he's doing. Ramiro. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Are we interrupting?
No.
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 What's happening? Not much.
So it's easy. We started to rain. We had to decide if we are going to declare wet race. Of course, we needed to, but the wet tires weren't released yet. So we decided to cancel the non-qualifying practice 6, the one that we're missing, and we will go back to the schedule, to the new one in qualifying practice of Micromax.
Okay. So we'll go back to Micromax. Just, I think it's 4:35.
4:35.
Yep.
Yeah.
And makes it a bit interesting, doesn't it, for you guys?
It's a way to see it. It's a little bit tricky to take these decisions because you need to decide in a few seconds, and we try to do our best. So let's see if it works.
I know you've been here a long time. How many years?
14.
14. Okay, 25 years in total. Can you believe it? 25 years.
Honestly, for me, it seems like it's the first one because each grand finals we have new challenges, even for us to manage the race and to direct the race. So for me, it's like the first one. It's any time is a new challenge every year.
Because we did have a little challenge the other day. I don't know, at some point they'll tell me to stop talking, but when we decided, or when it was decided, do we put the go-karts out overnight or we don't? You know, it's nearly 400 go-karts on the grid, and at 5 o'clock the next morning, everyone was getting up. They were here at 5:30. I think about 60 people. It was really amazing what they did. But again, the weather, we can't change.
Yes, that's the most difficult thing to manage in a race, because of course we don't control the weather, and we need to take decisions that will influence the things that will happen after. And it's never an easy decision to declare wet race. For most of the people it seems obvious, but it's not, because there are a lot of things going on if you declare wet race, and we need to see now it's not raining. So we only think, and if it stops raining, should we do a different thing? But no, we cannot control the weather.
So how does that work with the wet race? When you declare that wet race, can I go on slicks as well?
Yes, it's your choice. The difference is that in wet race you can choose if you go in wet tires or slicks.
Okay, and I heard from the locals that, can you see that rain? They said if the rain comes from there, I should expect it like within half an hour.
Now it's okay because we are prepared for the rain. 20 minutes ago we weren't, but now we are totally prepared for the rain.
And the clock is counting down. So now we're on almost 10 past. So good luck with that. We'll be watching, but I know it's all in your hands now. You'll decide what to do and what we don't do. So
I'll do my best.
You always do, but it's great. Nice to talk to you. Thank you. Okay, so what do you think, Henry? Can we go back to Henry and see if he's got any updates or anything, because I know that you're tuned into that, so
Yes,
thank you. And
we are.
maybe we'll see you back down here shortly when we get some karts on the grid.
Thank you very much, Jen. Fantastic insight with race director Ramiro Brito from Portugal. I think he said this is his 14th Grand Finals. He was the understudy to Nigel Edwards until Nigel's retirement from Grand Finals duty here at Sarno back in 2016, and Ramiro has been the head of all on-track activities since then. Let's go to the live chat first of all. So if you're watching this on the Alpha Live YouTube channel, we could have this on the Rotax karting channel tomorrow if it goes well, as long as we keep it nice and positive, talk about the Rotax karting and who you're supporting, then we're quids in. Who is watching from where? Well, we've got lots of people out there supporting Team UK. They're the biggest team here, 26 drivers in total. Noor Soufrakis supporting Egypt. One driver from Egypt here this year. He is in, I believe, is it Masters or is it DD2? I'll have to double check on that. We've got good luck to Team UK's Ash Higgs. People watching here from the circuit. Hello to Motorsport Magpie David Whitehouse. So lots of people supporting, but it's not just Team UK obviously getting support. We're watching Alexander Van Meeuwen from Belgium, a former competitor in this event. We got people watching from from France. We've got people watching from India. We've got people supporting our new South African commentator, Kyle Lawrence, and many, many more indeed. We've got to be on our best behaviour, Kyle. Do you know why that is?
Where?
Well, because our boss lady.
Oh, yes, yeah, no, I saw that.
Natalie, the head of Rotax Media, is watching. So
I did see that.
We've got to behave. That's just between me and you.
Yeah, do we switch the microphone when we said that?
No. It's just between me and you. It's fine. It's fine.
They can't hear us. They
No. It's absolutely fine. So we've got to behave.
All right, cool.
So welcome aboard, everybody. So. 4:35 practice begins. I've never driven this circuit, Kyle. You have. You've done so much driver coaching.
Yeah.
What are the differences to people watching Rotax karting for the first time? There's some of Team UK in the grandstand. Barry Ashcroft, he's not getting a suntan on the top of his head there. Did you know Barry Ashcroft there, he is the 4th on the right, drove all the way from Weston-super-Mare, past a few questionable shops en route, which he posted ever on Facebook, then rolls into Sarno, bowls in like a bad man, and parks right next to Kimi Räikkönen.
Right.
Whose son Robin is racing this year in...
I love how you assume I know where wherever it was you said is.
It's a lovely place in the south of England.
Oh, there we go. South of
holiday
England.
camp. You've got people from Italy, from Mexico, from New Zealand. Right on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see one of our DD2 masters, Laurentiu Mardan, who will represent Team USA. There's the Lithuania top, that black, yellow, green and red top. So even in the rain, obviously the fans are out, everybody in their national team clothing.
What we can notice there, though, is that there's not a single umbrella.
No.
So I think we're going to look at touch and go, wets or slicks.
I mean, it does dry very quickly here. So tell us a little bit about, as you're a driver, what do you adapt differently when you're driving in the wet than in the dry?
Well, I'm definitely going to try and explain this with as little technical, so it can be understood worldwide, not only by other drivers or as people watching as well. The wet weather, what it does is when it gets onto the circuit and goes on top of the rubber, it creates a layer between the rubber of the road and the rubber of your tire. So you want to stay away from wherever you drove during the dry. So everything your driver coach has been telling you during the dry, drive here, place your cart there, this is the line you need to drive, you need to stay away from it. So you'll see in the wet, the drivers will start using an outside line, so they'll be going over the rubber to turn where there is no rubber on the circuit, and that gives you the most amount of grip and allows the tire to separate the water and give you as much grip as possible, and that allows you to go around the circuit as fast as possible. So everything you've done on the circuit throughout the last 6 days to get used to the track, get used to the handling, get used to everything that you need is now null and void. Now everything changes. But what I'm noticing is down this little piece between turn 1 and turn 2, I'm starting to see dry patches form.
Yes, and again, the new tarmac, Jen Wade touched on it. Obviously, some of the tarmac is brand new. Other bits of the tarmac are part of the original circuit that's been reconfigured. Now, just to the left of our picture, going off screen, that's Guy Sheffield from the Al Ain Raceway and Hassan from the Bahrain International Circuit, both former Grand Finals venues. And then behind it, John Weigel from Club 100. John Weigel's Club 100 firm, the architect of the new Rotax Life program for rental car racing. Tina Shield from Jag Rotax, who have been Rotax's #1 distributor, or they've won the award for Distributor of the Year. What do we talk about distributors? Well, the way Rotax racing works, ladies and gentlemen, is obviously Rotax, BRP Rotax, the karting company based in Austria.
Yeah.
All engines made in the Rotax factory. They then go out around the world via the national distributors.
Yeah.
The distributors can then distribute those engines to any registered Rotax engine service center.
Correct.
So that all engines can be tracked, they can have their history, sort of relayed, Tina and Gary Shield from Jag, for example, you send them any Rotax engine in the UK, they can tell you when it came into the country, who it's been to, what it's had done to it, and you get a full, like an MOT, like a track record of every Rotax motor.
It actually goes further than that. If a motor were to come from, say, another country into the UK, with the barcoded seal system that is on the engines, as well as the engine number that's on the crankcase, you can research the history of that motor and see where in the world that motor actually came from. So to be you actually have to register as a service center to even open a Rotax motor. There's a very, very stringent set of rules. We have a stringent set of TCs all the way around the world, and it's become very unified for the Rotax series. And the fairness that we see at the Rotax Grand Finals is then repeated throughout the world to get yourself a ticket to come here.
Now, for those of you, what we're going to do now, we'll have a little more look at some of the comments. But if you go to the official Rotax Karting Facebook page, you will see every single one of our nations had their team photo taken in race suits just in front of the kart display on, what was it? What day are we now? Today's Tuesday,
Sunday.
Right? It's been a long week already.
Yeah,
Sunday
Sunday
morning, with the sky was beautiful and blue. What we want you to do in the live chat feature on the Rotax Karting Facebook page, Susanna is in charge of all Rotax's social media. She can get the information up to us. You pick your favourite race suits. Doesn't have to be your country, but there are some fantastic race suits. Do you know whose race suit I like? I like Namibia's. Why do I like Namibia? Because it's the first time we've ever seen Namibia here. We've got two returning nations. Namibia is a new nation, but returning is Mozambique.
Yeah.
You've spoken to the drivers from Mozambique and Namibia. What must they be feeling now as we step onto this stage? So hello to everybody in Mozambique. Hello to everyone in, I'll get this right, Windhoek in Namibia, is that right?
Windhoek, yeah.
Windhoek,
correct.
okay,
Yeah.
good, that's good. So hello to everyone watching back home. Hello to everyone watching around the world. Thank you. We've got comments coming in from Kansas, from Sweden, Belgium, France. I can see someone's watching from the maternity ward. Well, we're going to have a Rotax fan from a very, very young age. I can see the Danish flag on the chat screen as well. So, really, thank you for tuning in. But yeah, let us know, what's your favourite race suit? And trust me, Alpha Live will get up close to these race suits. You will see the fantastic work that goes in to these national suits that you'll see them like never before. I can't wait. We are 17 minutes away from the start of action. And of course, this broadcast is not possible without a number of people. The amount of effort that goes into making this event happen is insane. We're very fortunate to have a number of very loyal and supportive partners for this event and for the broadcast. And I think we should probably give them a little bit of love now by showing a commercial or two. What do you think?
I reckon it's about that time.
I reckon that's good. It's about that time. That's fine. Don't go away. We'll be back with racing very shortly.
With 35 one-make cups, Porsche Motorsport is the leading manufacturer of monobrand racing series in automobile racing. The central maxims are safety, equal opportunities, and affordable motorsport at the highest professional level. Coupled with the highest level of technical customer support, including worldwide and fast spare parts supply, as well as top marketing, Porsche Motorsport offers its customers, from motorsport beginners to professionals, a wide range of excellent racing platforms worldwide.
At BRP Rotax, we feel that the one-make series that we run with the Rotax Racing, the karting itself, is very much in line with the Porsche Racing, and therefore it's an easy transition for our drivers from one to the other. We've produced a lot of champions coming from Rotax Racing into the Porsche series, which is spectacular for our future.
Callum Bradshaw, I thought while you're not too busy, we might just catch up with you. A little bit of rain to stir up things a little, make it interesting.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be really interesting, to be honest, but especially for the little ones. There's been no testing in the wet. It's the first sessions, first few laps in the wet. Should be good. Should be really good.
I think so as well. And sometimes we just don't know there's a little bit of talent out there in the rain. When all the kids come together from around the world. You've been a Grand Finals champion, you've been a world champion before that. What does it take now? It's qualifying, it's getting serious. Is it nerves? What's going on? Oh, there goes a shoe. Yeah. That's the other thing with the grand finals, is it?
Just throws everything in there, doesn't it? But no, I think like, obviously everyone here is either won a ticket because they're a champion or they're here for the right reasons, and that's I think what makes the grand finals probably the hardest one out there, because obviously everyone's on equal equipment. And then obviously with the wet, it definitely evens the field, and should be good. But I think obviously the little ones, they've not had any practice, so it's going to be a lot down to talent. It's pretty much going to be maybe some of them have had a bit more practice than the others, which will definitely help. But now you are going to see the real talent, and hopefully we get some wet as well in the senior.
When you come to an event like this, just as a matter of interest, because I know you also work as a coach, do you ever see sometimes those kids like yourself and some of the other guys we know that just show that talent over the course of the week? Do you ever see those like from wherever in the world that sort of stand out?
Yeah, 100%. It's really good to see the little ones coming through, and you can see a lot of them coming through who win and are at the front consistently and come across mature. You know straight away that they're going to be a superstar. You know that they're going to be winners. So 100% you can see that, definitely.
Of course, it's not all that long ago you won the grand finals, but I suppose when it comes down to it, does it change anything in your life? You're a little bit older, but we know from 25 years that it's actually influenced and had an impact on many drivers in their life.
Yeah, no, obviously to be a grand finals on my CV, it's another one ticked off, another world championship ticked off. But for me, it's been influenced. Obviously, I can now coach. I can go to about a lot of car tests, maybe in the future with cars. So it's been massive for me. Like it's where I am now. It's my job now to do this. It's not like a hobby. It's not like I come here for a bit of fun or anything like that. It's now, for the past couple of years, it's my job. So I come here with a different mindset. I feel like obviously I have to sort of win and be at the front, because if I'm not doing my job correctly. So.
Yeah, but it's interesting, and it's really nice to catch up with you. Just happened to be wandering by, and I'm like, okay, this might be the only chance, apart from when you're on the grid, that I get to talk to you. But no, it's really interesting, and like I say, you're in a little bit different role. You've been there and done it, and you've also watched some of these young kids come through, so it's really nice to talk to you about it, and we'll keep watching, see what it's like for your qualifying in the morning.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be at the front, and practice has gone well, so yeah, should be good.
Do you want rain or not?
I don't mind either, but yeah, I will definitely take rain, to be honest. I'll take rain over not, but no, I think I'm really, really good in both conditions, so should be good.
All right, we're going to see what happens, and it's going to be a surprise, okay?
Look to everyone out there, really.
Okay, thank you.
No
See you.
See you later.
Okay, there goes Callum Bradshaw, of course, Team UK, and Grand Finals champion, almost Grand Finals champion a couple of times, but yeah, there's the lineup. So we'll catch up, and we're going to go qualifying. So back to Henry.
Thank you very much, Jen. Yes, Callum Bradshaw, the 2022 Senior Rotax Grand Finals champion. Kyle Lawrence, for the uninitiated, they are what?
Marbles.
Marbles.
We call those marbles. You'll hear it spoken about in quite a bit of motorsport. That's the bit of rubber that comes off your tires when going around the circuit. Now, you see it lie on the outside of the circuit. Now, that's showing you where you're not driving in the dry. So if you have a look just past the marbles, you'll see the track's a lot darker there.
Yes.
That's the rubber that's being laid down by the Mojo tire.
On the racing line.
On the racing line.
On the dry racing line.
On the dry racing line, correct. So now you want to stay away from the dry racing line, because rubber, water, and then you try and put rubber on top of that, it doesn't mix well.
No.
So you want to stay off the rubber that's laid on the track and end up in that marble line to give you the most amount of grip.
But then your wet tyres pick up those marbles, because even wet tyres get warm, don't they?
They do. So that's where this comes. That is the trick. I don't like calling them mechanics. We're more engineers. We have to do a lot of thinking and a lot of processing to get these cars to go around the track fast.
Can I just stop you right there? There is no way that I'm calling most of those reprobates out there engineers. They're No, they're fantastically skilled individuals.
They are.
That do a very good job.
And a lot of making a go-kart go around a circuit fast is a lot of educated guesswork. So from experience, you have a look at the circuit, look at how much water is on the track, and then you have to decide on your tire pressures. Because hot is good. Too hot isn't good.
Yes.
And too cold isn't good. You've got to find the window for the Mojo tire to separate the water, give you as much grip as possible, and give you as much lap time as possible.
Yes, indeed. Now, of course, as you looked at that camera shot, you might have been forgiven for thinking, well, that doesn't look very wet. And you'd be right in some parts of the circuit. So the last couple of practice sessions, as Ramiro Brito said, they were cancelled because of the rain. Everyone's been mounting wet tyres, mad scramble in the holding area, in the Parc Fermé area. And of course now you've got drivers, engineers,
Karting. Okay, sorry.
Karting
can
engineers.
We ignore I ever said that?
No. I'm going to run with it now. Karting engineers scratching their engineering heads, wondering whether they're going to put slick tyres back on. So here we go then. We are now up to, what's the time? We're up to 7 minutes away. The tension is mounting. The film crews are going back out onto the circuit. I think it's time we go to another commercial break, Kyle.
Yeah, a lot of partners. Got to give them the air.
Got to give them love. See you in a minute. Here we go, as we look at a rapidly drying circuit already. The grandstands and the holding areas, anywhere the spectators can watch, it's filling up. Thank you to everybody on the live chat, people watching from Chinese Taipei and the island of Taiwan, former grand finalist Roger Young out there. He's been helping Chinese Taipei and the island of Taiwan a lot this year. They have got their first ever female competitor in the grand finals. We will get to those storylines as the week progresses. A lot of people who are former grand finalists looking to try and get back. There's some of the Lebanese contingent, all trying to wonder, can they emulate Christopher El Faghali's win from 2022 for Lebanon? It's literally sitting room only. That the top there, that's the Belgian jacket this year, the black with the yellow and the red stripes down the sleeve. That's very smart. We're getting a lot of love for the Dutch race suits. The Dutch Lions, they are out in force as well, and the Dutch race suit is extremely nice indeed. Is the rain starting again, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm looking at puddles and I'm seeing drips come down.
There's a few umbrellas as well. Arjen Singh on camera there. There's you can see some of the Austrian team with the red and white dot. But there we go. That's what we want to see, ladies and gentlemen. Our first bunch of go-karts. Micromax on circuit. Robin Raikkonen in kart number 27 there on the screen. There's the number 31 kart. That's Brazil's Pedro Campos. He was in hospital yesterday because he barrel rolled his kart, went to get checked out. He's been given medical clearance. Great news for Pedro Campos. Formula K, part of the Praga IPK karting family. They brought their brand here for the first time. And who's that? That is the number 30 kart. That is Bruno Ignacio Miranda Pacheco. The 32 kart, Belgium's Jesse Moonen. And what I love is that in the rain, the drivers have their clear visors.
Yeah.
So you can see their eyes, you can see the emotion. Now, these are the youngest members of our Rotax family here. They're 8, 9, 10 years of age.
Matthew Shuttleworth there from South Africa. Matthew, pretty decent in the wet. I've seen him a few times out there in South Africa. We don't get a lot of rain there, but pretty decent. So looking to see how he goes in the wet. Number 34. That is Anna Malcolm.
Our only female Micromax driver this year, the young lady from Austria. And
look at that.
In the corner of your screen there, you can see the rain has returned. Who we got there? That is the number 16 kart. Right, the Thai team. We got a very big team from Thailand here. I think 6 or 7 drivers, 843 letters in their names combined. Number 16, that is Chinafat Vejadabuti.
Yeah, we just saw Tariq Sophie there as well from Bahrain. Did you, just a quick one, did you count all those letters yourself?
I did.
I thought you only counted 10.
But I had to use. I took my socks off,
right.
And then I put that down on a piece of paper, put my socks back on, took them back off again to start again. It was 21. There was number 21. So that is Dominic Vieira Roa. So the Colombian driver, back in January at the Rotax Winter Trophy in Orlando, he won the very first of 390 tickets that were on offer. Dominic Vieira Roja. Number 26, Austin Oman from the UK. Now, next to him is his dad, Tristram. His dad, Tristram, was a driver in the very first Rotax Grand Finals. Fast forward a quarter of a century, and his son is now racing in Micromax. You and Jen Wade, Kyle, have done so many interviews over the course there, which we will show you during the course of the broadcast, including one with Tristan and Austin Oman. Just a quick one. So in this class alone, Bahrain, Great Britain, the United States, Japan, New Zealand, South Africa, Finland, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, the Netherlands, Kyrgyzstan, Peru, Argentina, Slovenia, Thailand, Lithuania, Austria, Colombia, Denmark, Poland, Switzerland, Germany, the United Arab Emirates, Chile, Brazil, Belgium, Chinese Taipei and the island of Taiwan, Lebanon, and Portugal represented.
Joshua Cook there, those beautiful Senna gloves. I love the look of those colours on there.
Yeah, I think you know they've got to wear their national race suits, but gloves, are an option. So yeah, there's Josh Cook. He was a driver that had terrible issues yesterday. 4 seconds off the pace, but they go back to the Rotax technical team, who, by the way, were up again at 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. On Monday, any one of the drivers has any engine-related issues, they've got to go to this Blake Choker, former grand finalist. Ladies and gentlemen,
the whistle has blown.
And that means, for the very first time in 2024, the Rotax Grand Finals qualifying sessions are about to begin. On a track that is getting wetter and wetter by the second. This will be, it's a short, sharp session, only 6 minutes. What are you going to try and do now in qualifying? In the dry, you want to run in the slipstream. In the wet,
you just want some free space. You need to learn where the grip is going to be on the circuit. A lot of these drivers did go out in the corporate carts that are available on the circuit on Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
Thankfully, it was raining. They were, though, however, on slick tires. So
yes,
they will be able to know where the grip on the circuit is. They've all been warned to get their engines fired up. The whistle's gone. We're just waiting for them to leave out on circuit, but the rain is really starting to bucket down now. So this is full-on wet weather. Did any mechanics manage to change pressures before they went out, judging by how much rain has come down, or have they just hoped that they've given it the right amount of tire pressure for the right amount of heat?
Yeah, now there are strict regulations as to when the mechanics are allowed to make changes and when they're not allowed to touch the kart from there on in. 36, brand new, identically built Formula K chassis. 36, brand new, identically prepared Rotax Micromax engines on 36 sets of brand new, identically made Mojo Racing wet tyres. Grand Finals 2024 is underway. Now, the live timing and scoring option, if you've got the Rotax Global app, you can use the live timing option on there. Otherwise, you go to Rotax-Kart and you follow the links there. This circuit is a long one, 1,670 meters. They're only going to get 2 or 3 lap times in, and already we got drivers testing the limits. That's number 6. That is
Yutaka Tsunoda.
Yutaka Tsunoda from the United States. Just goes to show how slippery it is.
Yeah, look, at the moment you can see a lot of bunching with these kids, with these karts. They all went out straight away, out of the pits, and you can see all of them bunching up against each other, where they should actually be looking for space to go and figure out where to drive, where the line is, where the grip is. You want to be chasing and following now. You want to be trying to find your way in all on your own.
Yes, now of course, you know, this place is absolutely vast. Coming on to the start-finish straight now, out of the turn 13, King. So now the drivers begin their first flying lap. This corner is very, very quick. Turn 1 is very fast indeed. And if you just look to the left of the circuit there's a dip. When the curb ends, there's a little drop-off before you hit the grass. So drivers have got to be very careful indeed. Turn 1 completely reprofiled from when we were here in 2019. And drivers going across the middle of the circuit there. Now, nobody has set a representative lap time yet. This is the driver's effective first flying lap. And I have noticed, Kyle, that not all of them managed to get their wetsuits on, their rain covers. So you're going to have a bunch of very cold 8, 9 and 10-year-olds at the end of this. And you can see that one driver, Argentina's driver there, you can see, because you can see his race suit, that was Juan Cruz de Vincennes. He didn't get his wetsuit on, but they're going to come round very shortly and we'll start seeing who is on pace in the rain.
Well, already we're having a look at Pedro Campos, and he's already setting purple sectors almost every sector he goes through, whether that be because he's out there on his own or the first one to go past, or if he does have a really good understanding of where the driving, watching the drivers through turn 1. No need to use a full wet line there, but definitely through turn 2, we can see them running a little bit wider going in. Out of turn 13 they come now. There's a big group in the middle though.
Yeah, that's not going to help them because they can't take the optimum line. And you can see now, through turn 1 goes this pack of karts. Pedro Campos from Brazil was fastest. That honour now goes to driver number 18, Patapol Kujanasat, one of our Thai drivers. Pedro Campos still second. That's a brave move from the young man who was in hospital yesterday after rolling his cart. Now, who have we got on screen going down towards turn number 2 and looping it? That's the number 21 cart. That's young Dominic Vieira from Colombia, and he still is 14th fastest at the moment. Already less than 2 minutes to go. There's number 31. That's young Pedro Campos. And you can see as he looks around, moving his eyes from one apex to the next. It's Q Kanjanasat from Campos, from Emils Yodzaitis, and Alex Noah Mughabab from Lebanon. So Brazil leads Thailand, Lithuania, Thailand again, and Lebanon. Luke Millward from the UK now moves into the top 6. But the dry line is starting to emerge already.
Yeah, we can see the times are actually starting to tumble. We started at 37s, we're down to 1 minute 24s. We're having a look here now. The gaps are getting very, very close. With only a minute left to go.
Yeah,
so we
incredible.
don't know how many drivers are still going to get a lap in.
Well, there's Achilles Peruzzi in cart number 29, one of 2 brothers from the United Arab Emirates. Achilles is 20th at the moment. Now, of course, you can see several drivers coming across the start-finish line now. A lot of the drivers you're looking at, so that is turn 7 on the circuit that we're looking at now on screen. But it still is Pedro Campos, and he's going quicker and quicker and quicker.
Yeah, I did. Pedro definitely purple in both of the first two sectors. So getting a grip of what
there's
is
Pedro.
a
Here we
wet
go.
line. We can see him going very, very wide there. Big input on the steering wheel. But did you see how he cuts it back in to get over the rubber in a straight line? That way he can accelerate without spinning up the wheels and get the best drive. He's going to finish his last lap.
No, it's not his last lap. He's going to get across the
another
line.
one.
So Pedro Campos is on another lap. Now the checkered flag goes out. Emils Žozaitis from Lithuania is also on another lap. Okay, on our screen, you watch Pedro Campos and I'll jump in if anyone beats him.
Oh yeah, back now to the group as they go past. These are all the drivers that have finished their session. They won't be getting another lap, and unfortunately,
no one's beating Pedro Campos.
Not in that
group. At the
group.
moment, not in this group. Vejabuti is second. Ilya Mazo from Kyrgyzstan is third. Patapol Kukanjanasat is fourth. Matthew Shuttleworth fifth. Emilis Žozaitis is sixth. And there he is. There's Žozaitis. He's sixth. And he is on another lap. So he's the only driver that can beat Campos as we cross the line. Here he is. He spent most of yesterday afternoon in a local hospital here in Naples, and young Pedro Campos, who was the Rotax Mount Challenge South America Trophy champion, has, he has sprung the very first surprise of the Grand Finals. Brazil take pole position in Micromax.
Yeah, we're looking at Emilius now. He's going to cross the line. I didn't see any purple sectors from him, so no improvement. I think he stayed where he was.
Yep.
So that gives pole to Pedro Campos.
Fantastic. It gives provisional pole.
Provisional pole, correct.
Subject, of course, to post-race scrutineering. He won't know it yet. Oh, yes, he does.
It looks like
know
he
it.
does. He definitely looks like he does.
Now, I mean, when he was being put into the back of an ambulance yesterday afternoon, I'm thinking that this moment was probably the furthest thing from his mind. What was probably on his mind was thinking, have I just come all this way to injure myself and be told I can't race? He's going to be starting from pole position. Great effort. Does show, however, those drivers only got 3-4 laps in. It pays to get out at the front and get going. Here is your provisional grid. Pedro Campos, Chinafat, Vejabuti, Ilya Matzo, Brazil, Thailand, Kyrgyzstan, your top three. Emilis Žozaitis from Lithuania is fourth. Patapol Kukanjanasat is fifth for Thailand. Sixth, Matthew Shuttleworth for South Africa. Nixon Cripps from New Zealand and Luke Millward from the United Kingdom round out your top eight, with Jacobus Vasquez and Achilles Peruzzi, your top 10. Robin Raikkonen for Switzerland is 11th, followed by Alex Noah Moghabab from Lebanon. Then it's Dominic Vieira from Colombia, Cam Becker from the United States, and rounding out the top 15, Jan Dostal from the Czech Republic. Juan Cruz Davicens from Argentina is 16th, followed by last year's runner-up, Andreas Kjellerup from Denmark. Josh Cook is 18th, followed by Vincenzo Capella and Xu Ting Chang. That's your top 20. Chinese Taipei in the top 20. Austin Oman, Yutaka Sonoda, Elis Mankonen, Lucian Smith, Ito Shibazaki, Mateus Tornyai, Jan Wozniak are next. And look at that young man there. Oh, fantastic. He's a little bit overwhelmed, I think, is Pedro Campos, and understandably so. But he's am I really fastest? Yes, well, he's got a big cat on the top of his crash helmet. So the first of the, well, we talk about the Rotax roar. Well, that big cat is certainly roaring indeed. It is spitting with rain again, Kyle Lawrence.
See, this is where the question comes of the two-group qualifying. Your first group goes out on a drying circuit. The second group goes out on a wet circuit.
Correct.
How do they then work out your groups?
So if you're in a double grid, by I mean a double grid, well, there were 36 Micromax. They're all on track together. In Minimax, Junior Max, Senior Max, and DD2, we have 72 drivers in each class. They're split into two groups of 36. Now, we'll come back to that very shortly. Let's go down to Jen Wade with a very happy young Brazilian. Take it away, Jen.
Pedro, we haven't gone over the scales yet, but I want to tell you provisionally you're on pole position.
Yes, and I am very happy. And me neck is one and pole position from world champions here.
You've got the goal. You've got all these drivers, all these champions from around the world, and you're on pole position, and he's going for the win at the World Finals here. So, how do you feel now?
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
Did you know you're on pole position? Did somebody tell you you were on pole position, your mechanic?
Mechanic and my dad.
Your dad? Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there we go. Yeah.
What a story.
What a story. But, you know, we were going back to the two group qualifying. They use the 101% rule. So basically, if the first session is dry and it starts raining in the second session, the fastest and the fastest time from each session, if the fastest time from the slower group is above 101% of the faster group's fastest time, are we still there, ladies and gentlemen?
I feel like I am.
Then we revert to the 101% rule, which means the faster group, the leading driver in that group, will be first, and the fastest driver from the slower group will be second overall. The second fastest driver from the fastest group will be third overall, and then so on and so forth. If you're still listening, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. I can still see Mount Vesuvius from out the commentary box window. However, I can only see the top of it. Why? Because the cloud and the mist is covering the middle part of Mount Vesuvius. There are our Minimax drivers. They are the odd number drivers, and 6 minutes of time qualifying getting underway now. The Birrell ART chassis for all these drivers, and again, the drivers that get out at the front and just go, we saw that they're the ones that get the extra lap time in.
To be honest, you see, this is where I might be taking a gamble. I might say to my driver, do yourself a favor, don't rush out with everybody else. As we see 165, 113 and 149 doing the same thing. Last driver to leave the pits, 153, and that is Martin Solstice. I think that's the idea that I would take.
Okay.
Go out later, give yourself some free air, some free space, get used to the circuit, understand where the grip is, and then you've got one basically push lap after your first two warm-ups.
So you would sacrifice a flying lap for track position, free space
basically,
at this point, even if the track is drying and the last cart across the line could be the fastest. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
You see, that's the gamble. That's the gamble you would take. You take a look at the puddle. You see if there's still some rain falling, which there is at the moment. I have a look at. No, it isn't. But it's a gamble you have to take. Just because you went out first doesn't mean you're going to get more laps than that went out last.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to be watching the drivers coming across the start-finish line to start their first flying lap about now. Let's see who went out early and therefore who stands. So, Denik Babicek, Francisco Rocha, Oliver Spencer, Jensen Chalk and Dutch driver Bring the Noise, Kees Moyes. They were the first 5 drivers out of the pits. So they stand to get, if anyone's going to get more laps in, it's going to be those 5. Babicek, Rocha, Spencer, Chalk and Moyes. Let's keep an eye on them. At the back of the field, 149 and 153, Martin Solstice from Slovakia, and 149? Yes.
Yeah.
Isaac Yoon from South Korea. They're taking the Kyle Lawrence approach. So we'll see which, because again, this is something that every driver and every mechanic in any kart race will be faced with this decision at some point.
See, the issue is you can't force your way to the front of the queue.
A spin there for number 137. That is Tuzuna, the only driver here from Turkey. going around. Can Tazuna.
We did see Babicek on screen earlier,
Yes.
or earlier in the session, and just watching him and the amount of confidence he seems to have in the wet, it is really, really good to see a young driver like this with that much sort of car control. If you watch him flick it as he turns in, he gives it an excess input just to get the car into the corner.
I think now that could be, as we cross the line, Zdeněk Babicek, the driver, he was a podium, top 6 finisher in Micromax in number 155. That's Jensen Chalk. New crash helmet design for Jensen. He's our reigning Micromax champion, now moving up to Minimax. And Chalk is 8th at the moment, but it's still Zdeněk Babicek and Oliver Spencer, the top 2. Then Rocha from Brazil, Peruzzi, John Hahn, Mahos Massinas and Nikita Lubimov. Babicek has gone quickest.
I'm expecting Spencer, though, on this lap to maybe put in a flyer. He's had 2 of the purple. His last 2 sectors were purple, and he's just gone purple in the first. So Spencer, Oliver Spencer, getting it right here in the wet. Could we expect anything less from a British driver?
Well, Oliver Spencer does like the wet. Do you know how I know this? Because at the welcome party here at the circuit a few nights ago, when everyone was told no go in the swimming pool, about 11 and a half seconds later, Oliver Spencer backflipping into the swimming pool.
Oh, how else do you get into a swimming pool?
Oh, exactly. There he is. So the wet weather meister on and off track, Spencer over the curb, but it's Babicek and Spencer. Yeah, purple sector. Here comes Oliver Spencer across the line. This is going to be a monster. 1 minute 21.2, 4/10 quicker than anybody else.
Yeah, you watch him through this corner here, you can see the confidence he has. He just gives it a massive input, lets the back slide, but using a lot of the curbs as well to get that car. There we go. As I say, ride the curb and get the car as straight as possible for as long as possible.
And you could, no suspension. These curbs are quite beefy, aren't they? So these young drivers, they've all got rib protectors. But Spencer again going fastest through sector number 1. Now, sadly, I saw briefly an abandoned go-kart at the side of the track. I think that's New Zealand's Tommy Hart, who has not put in a lap yet. So New Zealand's Tommy Hart is out of this session.
Ollie Spencer now busy trying to get his way past Francisco Rocha we saw on screen there. I wonder if he's managed to get it done, because that's going to hurt him with only 39 seconds left to go. But Rocha doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, because Rocha's 3rd fastest. Now, there is the number 163. There's Zdeněk Babicek, 2nd fastest at the moment. And he's just gone purple in sector 1. He crosses the line. Sector. Is this going to be fast? It's 20 seconds to go.
Wait, here comes Spencer.
Yes.
No, it's not fast enough. Spencer managing to find another 3/10 in the final sector. Maybe that's a bit of toe?
Well, I don't know, but so they're both on another lap. Now, the clock is going to strike 0. In fact, quite a few drivers are on another lap.
Yeah, my theory would definitely have not worked.
Well, I mean, because it is raining, though. That's the thing, it's not drying up. So the checkered flag waves. Hugo Fuentes is the first to take the checkered flag from Spain. Augusto Andres Salemi Valdez from Chile takes the checkered flag. Alexander Rakowski from Poland is 3rd fastest. Now, this lap, Spencer is not that quick through sector number 1. And who is that trying to tow up behind him? That's Francisco Rocha. Is Spencer now pushing back? Oh, Babicek's gone purple through sector number 1. So Babicek is a little bit behind this group on track, and he has gone purple through sector number 1. Spencer picks it up through sector 2 as we see this battle going on. So here comes Babicek. At the moment, he will cross the line. He goes across the line. Pole for Babicek. No. Spencer takes it back.
I need to tell you something here that I've looked here on the middle sectors. Identical middle sector for Ollie Spencer and Babicek on that lap. And only 0.2 of a second separate them in a wet weather qualifying. Unbelievable.
I was going to say, well, it's interesting. So Oliver's mum, Faye, was out here at the start of the week. She's gone home now because Dad's out here. She's probably on the phone booking a plane back. Now, Oliver Spencer, Zdeněk Babicek, Francisco Rocha, John Hahn from Hong Kong is 4th fastest. That's the highest place I can remember Hong Kong being. Christian Sanguinetti from Canada in the 145 carts, spinning on the last lap. But a 1 minute 20.4, Spencer, not brilliant in the first sector, then equalled Babicek's time in sector 2. And
but that last sector.
That last sector. From what you've seen, Kyle, in the last sector of this lap, contains corners. Well, it's quite a short last sector, really. What is it about that sector that you saw from Oliver Spencer that he was doing differently or so effectively?
Well, between himself and Rocha also very good there on the brakes. It's a hard braking zone for that corner, and if you actually watch Spencer, he's comfortable enough to lock the back wheels up, let the kart actually slide.
Right.
And he uses that slide to slow the kart down with less distance.
Fantastic.
So it looks like he actually stops the kart faster.
Okay, but he's sliding using the back end.
Yeah.
So there is your provisional top 10. Oliver Spencer from the United Kingdom, Zdeněk Babicek from the Czech Republic, Francisco Rocha from Brazil, John Hahn from Hong Kong, Mahus Masinas from Lithuania, reigning Minimax champion Jensen Chalk from the United Kingdom, Aryan Singh from South Africa. That's 2 South African performances in the top 7 from Micro and Mini. Nikita Lubibov, Ferapongpan Sutumno from Thailand, and Enzo Di Janeiro from the United States. Viti Salmi from Finland, Leonidas Peruzzi from the United Arab Emirates, Nikolai Konukin from Kyrgyzstan, and the top 15 rounded up by Levi Alparine and, oh no, that doesn't look like a happy Oliver Spencer. I think he may have a drop-down nose cone penalty. No. In fact, I am certain of it. That body language. He's got a joker on his crash helmet because he is a joker. He's a very, very bubbly character around the paddock, but you're not seeing that now. And but you know something, look at how he's composing himself. Look at how, he's just, okay, that's only the first group of Minimax drivers, so that's only half of them.
Yeah.
But he's communicating up with his mechanic. Yes, there's disappointment, but you know what? Did the kids throw toys out of the pram? No. They just focus, and of course, they're being watched by the world as well. So, Zdeněk Babicek stands to inherit top spot in this session, but before the next session gets underway, let's have a couple of words from our sponsors.
We're gonna have a good time. A good time.
Well, an incredibly fast Oliver Spencer, but not looking really happy. What happened, Ollie?
I don't know, that was just like, I think it's like, but down the straight, I think maybe it was my fault, maybe it was the other person's fault, but we got a nose cone sadly, but we're still on P2 or 3, so it's decent, like, considering we've never been here in the rain before, we've poled it. on track. So yeah, I'm happy, but also not happy.
Disappointed, but of course you were fast. So even if we forget about the bumper, like you say, you've still got a good position. And you've got a double grid, so we don't even know yet what's going to happen in the other group. So, but I think you can be really, really proud of your laps because you were just flying out there. Not just, you know, obviously to make you feel better, but I think you can really, you know that you did a great job. Danny Babicek's a little bit behind you. He's got a bit of work to do if he wants to pass you. He's looking over here. But you can be really happy with that. Disappointed, yes, but you're fast, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, like the next group's to go yet, so I'm going to watch that, see how it is, but yeah.
Okay. What's your second one?
Thank you.
Well done.
Now, what Oliver was referring to, still being second, a nose cone penalty in qualifying, you lose your fastest lap. Because Spencer was so quick, his second fastest lap is still probably good enough for second or third in that group. There was an ooh from Kyle Lawrence earlier on. That was because we almost had an issue coming out of the pit lane. Tell us about it, Kyle.
Yeah, not the only driver struggling, but Duarte Lopez struggling out of the pits there and just grabbed the red bollard. Now these axles aren't exactly the strongest things on the kart, so any sort of impact on these things tends to bend them, but it seems like he's gotten away with it, so hopefully that doesn't hamper him throughout qualifying. But Henry, no more rain, and the track is starting to dry. The only thing that's hampering it now is the standing water.
Yes, I was about to say, you're looking at the run down towards turn number 7. That used to be turn 2. The previous layout, and there's less rooster tails. Now obviously it is still mildly moist, to say the least, but we'll have to say now, of course, I didn't write out Denik Babicek's lap time, so I'm not quite sure what they're trying to beat. I think it was a 1 minute 22.
It was a 1 minute 21.
Oh, okay.
It was 2 tenths slower than Ollie, and I remember Ollie being on a 120. So
right, okay. Let's have a look. So we are going across the start-finish line to begin with. Finley Lines from Team UK, there he is in kart number 156, was fastest on the out lap. He's got his countryman Harry Taylor right behind him. Now, this is what we mean when we say Rotax found the beauty of this event. In the United Kingdom, these two drivers race for rival teams. Finley Lines races for the Synergy Factory team, and Harry Taylor races for Dan Holland Racing. But they're not racing for those two teams, they're racing for Team UK, therefore they're teammates, and they have to work, well, they don't have to, but they should work together, and they are. Further back now, number 136, that would be Julian Rivera, the Condor from Ecuador. Number 122 kart, there is Harry Taylor. Finley Lines has just gone fastest in the first and second sector, the maximum motorsport. Now his family, his father Stuart, they run the TCR UK Touring Car Championship, and his dad, Stuart, has said he wants to stay active as a driver long enough that when Finley is old enough, they can do an endurance race in a saloon car together, father and son.
That is probably a very special moment to get done with your son, but we see him go past it. To me, it's unbelievable to watch the amount of kart control these kids have at 80 k's an hour in the wet, and you barely see these karts move around. But again, we've got a whole gaggle of karts running close together. It's not going to help through a qualifying.
Yeah, Finley Lines has gone out right to the front and is just gone. Now, there's number 150 kart. That's Leo De Silva from Canada. At the moment, after one flying lap, it is a Team UK 1-2-3. Finley Lines, Harry Taylor, and Albie Friend, the reigning Rotax International Trophy winner. Patrice Jostius from Lithuania, and Emerson McAndrew, and there's McAndrew in number 102.
It was a great pass from him there, I must be honest, and he needed to get it done because there's not a lot of time. He was stuck in a group. He had to get to the front as soon as possible. He's got a bit of clean air, so let's have a look at his sectors and see if he actually gets there. We got the information from Alpha Live. A 120.4 is what the fastest in the previous group was.
Okay, 120.4. Get anything under 1 minute 20.4 gets you outright pole position. Now, we saw how much Oliver Spencer was using the curbs. Let's compare that to Finley Lines as he goes through turn number 1. His best lap, a 1 minute 21.4, and that's half a second faster than everybody else. Right, this is the event of all events in world karting where driver skill matches.
Not only that, it
matters.
matters. Yeah, driver skill definitely matters, but now in the rain,
Well,
it's
even more.
amplified.
Yes, the equipment is identical. You're restricted into what jetting, what you can use, things like that, gearing, etc., etc. It's just down to the driver. You shouldn't get a driver going half a second quicker than anybody else. We have at the moment. Well, Alexis Baerjean, the Rotax Winter Trophy champion, has just gone second for Canada. Harry Taylor, purple through sector number 1. We're watching number 110, Albie Friend. And Friend is 5th behind Patrikas Josius, Martin Boccolacini, Ben McLaughlin from Ireland, Emerson McAndrew, and Jeremy Sincere and Ramiro Carrera are your top 10 at the moment. Lines has gone purple through sector 2. Harry Taylor and also Baerjean are both on very quick laps. Finley Lines takes across the line now. He's going to get a lap in. There he goes, the foreground of the screen. Who else has gone through onto another lap? Albert Friend, who now goes to top spot. And it's still a 1 minute 21.0, Kyle.
But that's pretty much what they were doing on their penultimate.
The penultimate
That's
lap.
right. Thank you.
But
Penultimate
he's
lap.
back in there.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's pretty close to what they were
Yes.
doing. So the flash come out now. Tepang Shishinyawa has just finished his last lap. He's not going to get another one, so he's in P12. And a few others behind him. But what's important now is to see what Friend, Lines, and Taylor can do to mix up the top 3.
Yeah, because Emerson McAndrew Uren has just gone P4.
Friend is 3/10 down in sector 1.
Okay, so this is the fastest driver. This could be the pole lap. This could be the fastest lap of the entire session. He comes out of turn 7 and 8. Now we're going into turns 9 and around to turn 10. We'll check there. Oh, Finley Lines in front of him on the racetrack has gone purple through sector number 2. At the moment, Friend is on provisional pole, but Finley Lines, who's about 50 metres ahead of him on track, there is Finley Lines. Here we go. They cross the finish line. Now Lines moves to pole at 120.58 and keeps it. Although Friend doesn't improve, Josius improves. Now we wait for Baerjean. Baerjean and Bortolacchini are the last 2 threats. We wait for Alexis Baerjean.
His first 2 sectors don't look all that nice. His middle sector's a problem. 36.2. This isn't going to be a lap from Baerjean at all.
No, in fact, I think you can see he might have even pitted at the end of that lap. So, with the time of what was the time from Denek Babicek in session number 1?
120.4. 494.
Finley Lines is a 1 minute 20.58. So,
but just do me a favor and look at the gap between the top 3.
There's a 1/10 of a second between
in the
them.
wet.
In the wet.
Unbelievable.
So I think Babicek has outright pole position, but Finley Lines, what a result. Patrikas Josius, second fastest for Lithuania. And then Albie Friend, Emerson McAndrew Uren, and Harry Taylor, the rest of the top 5.
Alexis Baerjean in 6th, Ben McLaughlin in 7th, Ramiro Carrera 8th, Potmits, you're going to have to help me with this one.
Pumsit Klombunjong.
Martin Bertolacini in 10th.
No,
that
Jeremy,
rounds out your top 10.
Jeremy
Jeremy Sincere in 11th. Jackson Porter in 12th. Christos Malakos in 13th. Timofey
Zavalshin.
Thank you very much.
Zavalishin, to get this folded.
15th I could do though. Sapang Shisinyawa.
Sapang Shisinyawa, a driver. Shisinwana. Right there. So again, Finley Lines and Albie Friend. Rival teams in the UK. High fives here. Finley Lines, great stuff. You know, the good thing is about a lot of these drivers is that they're friends, and do you know why we know that? Because here in Sarno there are several paddleboard courts that have been put in, and they have been full of drivers. Just playing paddleball, playing with the inflatable footballs that Rotax have given everybody. Now, there's Cipran Ionita. You can see the Romania. I love the Romanian race suit. The Count Dracula on the teeth there. Cipran Ionita, let's have a look. Where did he end up in that session? I'll have a little look down. 35th for Cipran Ionita, so not great, but we're going to have a quick commercial break, and then I think we're possibly going to speak to someone from Team UK.
Finlay, fantastic effort. Not quite sure if it's quick enough to beat the first group, but brilliant qualifying. Of course, you got 4 UK drivers at the top as well.
Yeah, thank you. I think always the UK drivers would have the kind of advantage because of our weather at home is never quite the best. But I'm glad Poland group. I mean, I would have been happy with a top 10 because I would have came through the heats. My top 10 would be fine, but P1's just even better.
Of course, we had a little bit of a change in the weather last minute. So were you expecting, once it rained, that you thought you'd be at the top there compared to when you were in the dry?
Well, I always think because the UK was supposed to be better in the wet. When I had to come in my practice session because I was selecting it's raining, I think I was kind of happy because it was raining because I think I'd have a bit more of an advantage. But yeah, I'm glad it's raining now.
So you've set yourself up for some good, obviously, starting positions when we come to the heat races. So yeah, it's going to be good. And what about in the dry tomorrow? You're feeling quite confident?
I'm all right in the dry. I think I had like a load of top 5s, which was good. But I think I'm a bit stronger in the wet, as we just saw there.
Okay, so we're going to hope that you get some rain. Of course, you've got a lot of drivers on the grid from your team. Really strong drivers, as you say, so you're going to meet them again, I guess, when you come to the heat racing. But it's really cool to see you here and so many, of course, in Team UK.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. Well done.
Thank you very much, Jen. And I think that brings a close to the first day of qualifying here for the 2024 Grand Finals. Sorry, DD2 Masters are next for us. I apologize. But here at the Grand Finals, the rain has kind of stopped. It's slowed. I don't know if I want to call it stopped. It's definitely slowed. Whether or not we're going to see enough dry.
The way that, I don't think so. But the DD2 mechanics and their drivers, they will be looking more keenly at the weather radar than any other class. There's 2 of them. They're going out tomorrow, so they're okay. If it was DD2, I'd be saying maybe a driver. This is Masters, I think.
Yeah, it's only 36.
It's only 36. They're all going to be in one group, so I think that they will.
The one difference the one difference between a DD2 and say Minimax, besides the obvious size
yes.
and the horsepower, is the fact that they run front brakes as well.
Yes.
So that adds another difficulty to anybody that hasn't driven anything of this in the wet. Whether if you're experienced, you know what the front brakes do, you know how they react when you get on the pedal in the rain. If it's your first time out in the rain, that is something that's going to sit in the back of your head. How hard can I push the brake pedal?
Yeah, because, and again, you raced in this class last year, finished in the top 10 in Bahrain. Not much rain in Bahrain last year, but you've got rain to deal with now. 36 DD2 Masters, the Masters category for drivers aged 31 and above. on the Charles Leclerc chassis brand. And looking at the drivers heading out, I can't see anybody on slick tyres.
You'll see it quite quickly, Henry. You'll see the aluminium rims are what are used for the rain tire. The black three-line rim is what's used for the dry tire.
Okay, so
any black rims, there'll be slicks, but all these karts heading out on track on the aluminium wet rims.
Right, okay. Last driver out.
See, that would have been me.
That is 508. So
that's the way I would have done it.
You would have gone out at the end. 508. That is the German driver, Alex Fielenbach. We'll see. But, yeah, okay. The difference is in driving. These are the two-speed cars. How would a driver go about changing gear? How do you go about changing gear in a DD2?
You see, in the wet, you've got two paddles on your steering wheel. One, you pull the left-hand side for first. You pull the right-hand side for second. It's cable-driven and runs onto the gearbox. These karts are so well developed that they actually have a power cut-off switch. So you can keep your foot flat out and just pull it through to second. The only difficulty, and in the wet it's very important, is on the downshift you need to give it a little bit of throttle to stop the back wheel from locking up.
Okay, and somebody was giving it a little bit of throttle across the grass there. Very, very treacherous indeed through turns number 13. That may have been one of our South Africa. It may have been, was that Nicholas Pico going third? So now here are some of our most experienced drivers. There's the 504 of Fernando Guzzi from Brazil. Again, names that appear year after year after year. Fernando Guzzi, João Cunha, and Dmitry Kovanov are top two at the moment. That was just the outlap, however. And oh dear, that is a collision. And oh no,
Guzzi.
That is Fernando Guzzi and the other driver involved there pulling away, but that is, now, we saw Fernando Guzzi last night in the hotel lobby. I don't think he will be there tonight. I think he's going to be,
No, I think he's going to be home early and in bed. And,
home early with a very tired mechanic.
We just saw on screen there now, 505, Bjorn Roos. Bjorn, a lot of experience in Europe. He raced a lot of his time in Europe. He has done a world final as well. He was in Egypt.
I think that was Nicholas Pico just going for a spin. I think it was, Scott Howard. Now, if you look at the posters for this event, all the advertising, you have got an Australian driver about ready to punch his glove. That's Scott Howard. He quite literally is the poster boy for this event. And I said, there's the 503 and the 524.
524, that is Juan Pablo Rico from Colombia.
John Bonanno in the 503 car just going around. John Bonanno, the New Jersey-based driver. So if you're going to have a poster boy, you may as well make it a good one. And Scott Howard has led to the top of the charts at the moment. Time of 1 minute 17.135. So halfway through this session, it's Scott Howard from Alex Fielenbach, João Cunha. Then from Canada, David Laplante, Federico Rossi from Italy. First time he's mentioned the host nation, really. Federico Rossi in kart number 526. There is the South African driver. So here's the driver that qualified for this class with your retirement this year.
Look, he had a good chance of qualifying last year. I think I just had a bit more luck than he did. But 522, Scott Howard, new lid for this year. Not running the same one we've seen in the poster.
Always gets a new lid for this event. He actually got his ticket out in the Asia Trophy this year. I just think that it's Mrs. Howard, his better half, wanted to see a different part of the world. So the condition that Scott had for going racing was that he went abroad so she could have a bit of a holiday.
Oh, that's at least he got to go racing. I mean, there's some names though that we're not seeing in the front that I would expect to. Antti Olakainen, I expected to see him further up, but struggling at the moment with these conditions. 5-3-4 there in a bit of a battle. There shouldn't be much battling happening.
Carl Cleribo from Belgium again. These are the drivers that should know better. These are the most experienced drivers we've got. Trying to think of Jan Andreasen. I think he's at about 17.
You say the most experienced drivers, but a lot of drivers that join Rotax join in the Master Series.
Okay.
So there are a lot of people, a lot of men that have done what they need to do through life, worked hard, earned their money, and now they want to. 529. That looks like another bent axle.
That's Harold Garkaklis from Latvia. He was just on a curb.
Yeah.
So Garkaklis from Latvia goes for a spin, and Harold's is only 20th at the moment. And there's another one off. That is Rodrigo Eckholt from Chile. And Rodrigo Eckholt, well, he was 7th at the moment. It's Howard from Nicola Pico, from Joao Cunha, from Matt Hamilton from New Zealand, Dmitry Kovanov, John Bonanno, Rodrigo Eckholt, Axel Fallenbach, and Marc-Andre Levesque. There's your top 9. Matias Rodriguez from Argentina is 10th as the clock strikes 0. The clock strikes 0. The last driver to start the flying lap is Tony Hogg.
Now this is where it's going to get tricky. The rain has stopped, the track is drying, so we're expecting the laps to go faster. I'm not seeing any purple in the first sector, and I'm not seeing any purple in the second from Scott Howard. Nicholas Pico has caught up to Scott Howard though. Only 0.3 of a second of a gap between the two of them.
And Pico puts in a personal best middle sector. But you know something? Scott Howard is looking good. Australia on this.
1:14.9 on his last lap. He's taken the flag. He's gone faster. 1:14.9.
He is going
Zhao 1:15.4. So Nicholas Pico comes across and can't manage to better it at 1:15.5. I don't see anybody going better than that.
No, Matt Hamilton and Rodrigo Eckholt have still got to complete a lap. They are 6th and 7th. Oh, there's another one with a bent axle. That's Estonia's Pirit Say. He's having a little bit of a jig. He's having a bit of a dance. He wants to get that car back because, just to give his mechanic, and he's getting a little bit of a helping hand. The driver pushing him in obviously isn't too concerned about potentially getting a nose cone penalty. But Pirit Say enters pit lane. Here is your unofficial top 10 in DD2 Masters. Australia, Scott Howard. Brazil, Joao Cunha. France, Nicola Pico. Chile, Rodrigo Eckholt. Kyrgyzstan, Dmitry Kovanov. The USA, John Bonanno. Mexico, Javier Gonzalez Alcant. New Zealand, Matt Hamilton. Colombia, Juan Pablo Rico. And Germany, Alex Fallenbach. Now, here's the second 20. Any names in there that you think is a bit further down than you would expect?
David LaPlante, I did see him a little bit further up last year, but definitely Mateus Rodriguez, he was quite quick. And Antti Ollikainen down in 19th position.
Yeah, now speaking of David LaPlante, you saw him quite close last year, didn't you?
I did. We may have had a slight incident in the second heat race.
But now you're a media broadcaster, all is forgiven.
Is it?
Well, I mean, he's forgiven you.
I hope so.
There he is. We're going to have a big smile from the big man, Scott Howard. His ego is going to be insufferable later on. You know this, don't you?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Ooh, big breather.
I must be honest, though. Whoever he gets to design those helmets of his.
Oh, yes.
I want his number.
Scott Howard's crash helmet designer is the man. But we're going to hear from some of our sponsors, and then we're going to hear from the poster boy of this event when we come back.
Here they come, brother. Yeah.
Scotty Howard, team captain. Aussie.
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting that, but Just have to probably thank my team back in Asia. I raced all this year in Asia. In the last round, we had a day of wet weather testing. I haven't been in the rain for probably 2 years before that. Obviously, I like the rain. My size suits the rain, and we've been struggling in the dry. So we had a day's testing in Malaysia in the wet probably a month and a half ago, which thank Aaron and RL for karting for that. It's helped us obviously secure a pole here, which is a bit unexpected, but I'll take it.
You'll take it. JT's up there, your mechanic.
Yeah, JT's. I feel sorry for JT and Dale at home. They've both supported me for a long time and put a lot of effort in my karting. And if I can just pay them back by doing this, that's enough for me. So it's pretty cool.
It's pole position, 25 years of the grand finals. You're the poster boy for anyone that doesn't know. This is the guy behind the helmet.
Yeah, no, it's pretty surreal to see your face everywhere or your helmet everywhere. And my helmet painter back at home, Arstar, he wants one of the banners because he's got his name all over it. So no, it's pretty surreal. And just want to say hi to my kids at home. It's probably 3 o'clock in the morning. They're probably in bed. And my partner's over in India on a business trip. But and also Dale back at home. He's done a lot for my career as well as JT and the boys. So it's good for Team Australia and see how we go from here.
Okay, and you've got those blow-up kangaroos if anyone wants to swap their jackets. See Scotty Howard at the end.
This year, they're costly. No worries. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Well, that ends today's on-track action, Carl Lawrence.
Now it ends.
Now it's over.
Okay.
The rest of qualifying will begin tomorrow. We'll be back, obviously, with a full days of racing. Quick couple of storylines. Obviously, in one class, Team UK, very strong. In the other classes, some surprises. Scott Howard, tell us a little bit about why that isn't a surprise in the rain, but why he might struggle in the dry a little bit.
The bigger you are in a kart, the harder it is to release the kart out of rubber. And also, Scott Howard running a little bit overweight this year. I think he's running 6 kilos over. He has put a lightweight battery in that takes about 2.5 kilos out. But in the rain, the weight difference is negated. So Scott Howard showing some proper pace in the rain. Strange to me that an Australian on pole in the wet, but congratulations to him. And I'm so glad that he's wearing a helmet in the poster.
Excellent. So here we go. Brazil also, great day for Brazil. Tomorrow morning, we'll be back with the rest of time qualifying. But Kyle Lawrence, on behalf of Jen Wade, on behalf of all our partners, on behalf of BRP Rotax, you've been watching day one of the 2024 Rotax Grand Finals. It might be a bit wet out there at the moment, but it's only going to get hotter from here on in. See you tomorrow. Driver unique. It's an event designed to make you equal, because you are number one.